Hey guys, TKC here, the Kaijudo channel, and I'm here with more Kaijudo news. So many previews on the second week of Clash of the Duel Masters previews. So I'm going to be talking about 7 cards that were previewed all in the span of 2 days, which is absolutely ridiculous. And we're going to go ahead and start with the Kaijudo.com one, of course, which was posted on Wednesday. And that card is Crone Axe the Brutal. This is a Darkness Fire Rotworm Drakon with 3000 power. And it has 2 abilities. It has Envenom. When this creature enters the battle zone, choose one of your other creatures. It gets Slayer until the end of the turn. And it has Battle Order. When this creature enters the battle zone, choose one of your other creatures. It can attack untapped creatures this turn as though they were tapped. So what's really interesting about this card is that it's actually going to be part of a cycle in the set of Clash of the Duel Masters. The article states that it's based off Magic the Gathering's Battlemages cycle from an old set in Magic the Gathering, and that they all will have 2 abilities. And specifically for this cycle, this Kaijudo cycle, they will have the same abilities depending on the civilization. So that means that the other Darkness Battle Mage will also have the Envenom ability, and then the other Fire Battle Mage will also have Battle Order. So it's pretty cool to see that these singular abilities will be able to be shared across 2 different Battle Mages, and then they'll have some neat kind of synergies with the other ability. And Crone Axe is just a beautiful example of this because you can do so many things with just these 2 abilities. If they have a big creature, you could take your small creature that you gave Slayer and run right into it, or you could go ahead and target 2 creatures. So if they already have a tapped creature, you can go ahead and Slayer into that one, and then maybe if you have a bigger creature already out in the field, you can go ahead and get rid of that big untapped creature as if it was tapped. So the possibilities are quite endless with this card, and you know, even the races are very relevant as well, Drakon and Rotworm. They both have evolutions right now, especially the Drakon ones, which are absolutely amazing. And I really can't wait to see the rest of the Battle Mage cycle because I could see some really awesome cards coming out of it. Before I go on to the next card though, some really sad news. But Ryan Miller, the lead designer of Kaijudo, is actually going to be leaving the team. He's not going to be affiliated with Kaijudo anymore. The official Kaijudo Twitter account tweeted it, and it tweeted along with this photo right here of Ryan Miller just kind of, going back into the kaiju realm or something like that, which is quite comedic, but it's really sad to see you go, Ryan Miller. You did a really awesome job. Thanks for everything you did, and good luck in the future. Alright, so moving on to the next card, I'm going to be talking about the Facebook preview on Thursday. This card is looking pretty sick. This card is Truth Seeker Farian. Alright, jokes aside, this card is crazy. It is a level 7, 6000 power, light water, Skyforce champion / Cyberlord. And it has 2 abilities. It has Double Breaker, and it has Spell Sword. When this creature enters the battle zone, you may cast a spell that has Shield Blast from your hand for free. Whoa, that is definitely something out of the ordinary. So this card has a lot of potential, and this card easily fits into the light water dark controls that have been out there for so long. It's just so perfect for the deck. Because typically, those control decks will have at least, 15 Shield Blasts. And this card is technically a finisher because it has Double Breaker and it has a decent size with 6000 power. So, because this card is both a utility card for control decks and a finisher at the same time, it almost seems like it's a staple for control decks. But I don't want to go too far with that. I mean, 6000 power isn't the greatest thing in the world, and the Spell Sword ability won't be useful all the time. You won't always have a Terror Pit in your hand, but when you do, this card is awesome. That's literally the main use of this card, is literally just playing this, and then either playing a Root Trap or a Terror Pit for free, depending on what civilizations you're running. That's basically Value City. It's basically saying, oh, I play this card, I untap all my mana, and then I play Terror Pit on you. Which is, definitely nothing to laugh at. It's almost like pseudo, mana acceleration or pseudo mana ramp or whatever. It's like, you're basically untapping all your mana and then playing whatever Shield Blast in your hand. That's basically what it is if you think about it. So the card doesn't give you, direct card advantage, but it allows you to play more out of your hand just by casting one of your cards in your hand for free. That's already 2 cards, and those 2 cards are absolutely excellent, but the fun does not end right there, as there are still 5 more cards to talk about. So now we're going to go on to the Kaijudo Central preview. Kaijudo Central is an awesome community. You can go check it out. Leave a link in the description. It's a really interesting forum. And they got another super rare to preview, and that card is Sasha the Observer, which is another very, very out of the ordinary card. It is a level 5, 4500 Angel Command, and has 2 abilities: Observe and Report. Whenever a creature attacks you and isn't blocked, you may draw a card. And then it also has Hologram. If this creature would be banished, you may discard a creature instead. This is very interesting. So let's say, your opponent is hitting you directly. So they attack one of your shields. You get that one card, which is already a little bit of an advantage, especially if it's a shield blast. But then you also draw another card with Sasha. So every time you hit one of your shields, you're technically getting 2 new cards into your hand, or 1 if you got a shield blast and you use it. And then not only that, it's really hard to deal with this card because of the hologram ability, in that if it would be banished, you could just simply discard a creature. And because you're going to be drawing, a decent amount of cards off of this, you can use those cards that you add to your hand to protect it. So the ability is very, very interesting. I don't really know where I would want to put this in. I honestly have no idea how good this card could be. I guess time will tell, but it's definitely a very interesting card. And now the last 2 I'll be showing off was previewed by none other than Raijinku. Go ahead and check his channel out. And these 2 cards are very impressive. Let me just tell you that right now. So I'm going to go ahead and talk about the vanilla creature that he previewed first, because it's pretty awesome. It is Swordhorn. It is a level 3 5500 power creature. That is just insane. And not only that, it has Enforcer and Beastkin as its races, which are 2 of the most relevant races in this game right now, especially with all the possible evolutions out there. So let's just say you're going against someone who plays Seneschal turn 3, then you play this card turn 3, and Seneschal is just kind of crying. He's just kind of sitting on the opponent's side of the field going like, yay, I get to draw a card for my player, but he's just going to be brutally destroyed by this Swordhorn card. So this card can easily go into like a light Saberbolt variant that uses Sabertooth, and then I guess even some of the Enforcer evolutions to kind of like stabilize, like Cobalt or Halon, which just has big power. And then, of course, you could go ahead and combo it with Fire or even Water for draw power. Definitely the best common we've seen so far. It's just absolutely amazing. And the other card he previewed is also a Light Nature card, and that card is Starseed Squadron, a very rare. Level 4, 4000 power, has 2 abilities. First, it has Spell Charge. Whenever you cast a spell, each one of your creatures gets 2000 power until the end of the turn. And it also has Overpower. Each of your creatures that has power 6000 or more has Double Breaker. The possibilities are also quite endless with this card. Just like Gemini Dragon, the Spell Charge ability stacks. So you can go ahead and play cheap spells to boost your creatures by a lot of power. And then not only that, all your creatures are going to be double breakers pretty much, because once they have 6000 or more power, they're breaking 2 shields, every single one of them. And not only that, it's not just your other creatures, it's also the Starseed Squadron itself. So just by playing any spell, this card becomes a double breaker. So just imagine this: Swordhorn turn 3, Starseed Squadron turn 4, and then the next turn you can do, a bunch of things. You can do any spell once to make both of them double breakers and swing for 4 shields. And then if you really want to go high on the power, you could even use Power Surge, which powers up all your creatures by 2000 power, but with this card, it will effectively increase them all by 4000. And then after you cast that, of course, basically all your creatures are double breaker. So just looking at Light Nature so far, it's pretty amazing. There are just a bunch of things you could do right now, and I could easily see these Light Nature decks making a big impression on the meta for the KMCs after this set comes out. So that's it for the Clash previews, but we also have 2 more cards to talk about, and these 2 cards are going to be the new promos for the Clash set premiere. So we're already told what those 2 cards will be. They'll be Wild Sky Sword and Faultline Dragon, but we had absolutely no idea of what they're going to do. This is the Sky Sword that we are getting right here. Wild Sky Sword, level 6, 4000 power, Storm Patrol and Beastkin, very awesome combination. It has powerful attack 4000, meaning it's going to go up to 8000 power. Has Double Breaker, and then it has the ability Electro Field. Whenever this creature wins a battle, you may put the top card of your deck into your shield face down as a new shield. The first thing I thought of once I read this card was like, oh, we could use this in a sort of deck that uses like Bestial Rage Tetsurion or Lepidus the Ancient, or even the new card from Dragon Strike Infinite, Sovereign the Untamed. You could do lots of interesting combinations with Wild Sky Sword and all those. So you're like getting rid of their shields, you're gaining more shields, and you know, it goes on and on like that. So once again, another good Light Nature card, and they just keep on coming. I think we pretty much saw the best of the best, except for the super rare. So who knows what the super rare is going to be, but if that card is going to be awesome, then geez, Light Nature is going to be a force to be reckoned with. And of course, the other set premiere promo is Fault Line Dragon, a level 6, 5,000 power, Armor Dragon, and Earth Strike Dragon, which is pretty nice. And it has two abilities. Sword of Outrage, this creature can attack tapped creatures on the turn it enters the battle zone, just like the original Tatsiron from the battle decks. And it also has Sword of Reaping. Whenever this creature wins a battle, you may put the top card of your deck into your mana zone. So once again, we have another when it wins a battle, do this. I'm not really sure where to put this card, because it is 5,000 power, which is not as crazy as the original Tatsiron that had 6,000. Because back in the Evo format, when Blurple was like a really good thing, 5,000 power was a key power, right? And you had cards like Heal of Flame to trade, or Tatsiron to just completely get rid of them. But 5,000 is just, it's really not special. It's not really going to do much. I would personally rather play the original Tatsiron just for that extra 1,000 power, because it gets rid of a lot more things. Cool, if you win a battle and you get a top card of your deck into your mana, that's nice, but there are a lot of cards that do that, and a lot more useful cards. So Fault Line Dragon is probably the first card I've seen so far that's kind of really disappointed me. But this is not in the Clash set, of course. This is a set premiere promo, because if you remember the other two set premiere promos for Dragon Strike Infinite, those two weren't crazy either. You know, they were just like kind of like vanilla dragons in a way. But Cybersphere Dragon was kind of cool though, in that it bounced back to your hand all the time. But I haven't really seen a really good use out of that card. Whew, I got through all those 7 previews. That was crazy. Very awesome stuff from week 2. And there's just going to be even more and more and more. So as always, stay tuned. Every week I'm going to be talking about all these new cards. I'm going to try to catch up as best as I can. Because this set is a 120 card set, it's kind of hard to catch up with all the previews. And there are going to be a lot more previews than usual. So bear with me, guys. Very awesome stuff. I'm just so excited. There's just so many things going on. And then next week, I am in Texas, and I'm going to be with Thunder Sultan and Card Academy and Bobby Break and all the awesome people in Texas. So I just really can't wait for that. Alright guys, so this is TKC signing off. Have a nice day, guys. See you later.